So, I talked with people from other countries through Talk Abroad and also researched this topic using studies and articles. I tell you about the devices people use, what they do with them, and why these habits vary by culture. Digital media shapes how we live, learn, and connect with others. But do these habits look the same in different countries? To answer this, I compared habits in the US with three countries in Europe, corresponding to the places where each of my interviewer people that I've interviewed live at, which is Luxembourg, Switzerland, and France. So, how Americans use digital media? As we see, 96 phone checks per day, 8-second attention span, and 59% of people feel more distracted with with the use of digital media. While these stats may be a bit concerning, it's always good to have context. These are media as a whole, digital media as a whole, is a big change in how we live. But let's find out how other countries compare to us. Do they have the same habits? Let's find out. So, the first person that I interviewed was Charles from Luxembourg. Now, a few things about Luxembourg is it's a small country next to Belgium, France, and Germany. Some of the key things that I found out through my interview was the usage of iPhones and how people in Luxembourg prefer short videos. Fast info equals easier learning. The quicker you get the info, the quicker you learn it. It's like mantra, basically. And cultural values, structure, and clarity. So, when I talked to Charles, he said that smartphones, mainly iPhones, are just as common in Luxembourg as they are in America, he thinks. Like Americans, people in Luxembourg often watch short videos on their phones. Charles noticed that when people want to learn something, they usually look for the shortest, most cut down videos they can. Charles said this happens because it's faster to watch short videos. While he knows short videos might hurt people's focus, he doesn't think his own focus has been harmed. From my research, Luxembourg is a place where people like to know exactly what to expect, which might be why they like quick, easy to understand information. In Luxembourg, there's a strong emphasis on organization and structure in everyday life. This is reflected in their digital preferences: clarity, speed, and usefulness. The next person that I interviewed was Liam from Switzerland. A few things about Switzerland is that it's a country known for making very good watches and having a high quality of life. Switzerland has many gaming places like gaming centers and internet cafes where people can play for a long time. Liam told me that people of all ages play games in Switzerland, but in different ways. You see, young people often go to these things called gaming centers after school. People on buses and trains play games on their phone. There are special cafes where people can play games all night. Top gamers play here, and they are very famous. Like sports stars are to us in America, these top gamers have that same type of celebrity over there, he said. So, Swiss people value both new technology and art, which shows in how they play games. Like in many rich countries, though, many families worry about the game addiction and make rules about screen time. Gaming in Switzerland isn't seen as just a hobby, it's a social outlet, and even a competitive career path for some. This shows how digital culture can also build community. And so, some of the key things we learned was gaming is a social and value, like art, used on transportations and in gaming centers. And families worry about the gaming addiction. The last person that I interviewed was Elise from France. So, a few things about France is that France is known for its rich culture, fashion, and strong opinions about media and technology. Some things that we touched on were about the smartphones. Many French people are more selective about how and when they use them. iPhones and Androids are both common, but there's a noticeable trend toward turning off notifications or using apps like Forest to stay focused. She told me that many people in France enjoy using their phone for reading news, listening to podcasts, or messaging on apps such as WhatsApp. Short videos are popular in France as well. There's also strong interest in long form content like documentaries and full length YouTube video essays, especially among college students. Elise explained that French culture values focus and critical thinking. In her words, we are taught from a young age to analyze and not just consume. Some of her friends even take digital detoxes on the weekends where they turn off their phone completely. A 2023 study by the Institute of Montaigne found that 60% of young French adults feel overwhelmed by constant notifications, and many actively limit their screen time. This shows how French digital habits are influenced by a national identity centered on deep thinking and intellectual independence. Some key things that I learned from this interview were the selective phone use, the interest in podcasts and video essays. A key quote that I got was, "We are taught to analyze and not just consume," and digital mindfulness is a growing trend. So here's a cultural comparison. You see that phones are everywhere when we look at the U.S. compared to the three countries that I interviewed. In all three countries, smartphones are and digital media are very common. Short videos, people in all places like short videos, easy to watch videos using apps like TikTok and YouTube Shorts in particular. The gaming habits. Gaming seems more social in Switzerland than America, where many think gaming is done alone. The group gaming places Liam talked about aren't as common here. French users like Elise are more focused on intentional media use, while Americans tend to multitask more when talking about media mindfulness. And the worry levels, all countries worry about digital addiction, but studies show Americans feel more distracted, 59%, than Europeans. These comparisons show that while the tools we use are the same, the way we use them reflect deeper cultural values. And so here's what some research says. So in multitasking hurts focus, and a study done in 2018, the Pew Research shows that nearly all teens use YouTube and perform short content video styles. Individualist cultures equals more distractions. So basically that means that countries that value individualism, like the US, may be more prone to distractions from digital media. And so, in conclusion, this is what I've learned. While digital distractions and short attention spans happen everywhere, culture shapes how people see and respond to these issues. Luxembourg and Switzerland share many habits with America, but their values and environments change how they think about these habits. France showed a more reflective approach where people try to balance tech use with mindfulness. As we use more digital tools, understanding these differences can help us better deal with the problems of distraction and media use. We can learn from each other and find new ways to use technology with intention. Thank you for listening. And here are my references.